The crystalline spires of the Galaxy Council's central station gleamed against the backdrop of 3 purple suns, their light casting ethereal shadows across the chamber, where representatives from 47 civilizations had gathered. Ambassador Bassett of Earth stood at the defendant's podium, his dark eyes steady despite the weight of accusations hurling toward him like cosmic debris. "The humans are a plague," hissed Counselor Zeth Prime, his serpentine form coiling with disgust. "They spread across systems like a disease, terraforming worlds without permission, establishing colonies in restricted sectors." Elsa, Earth's chief military strategist, observed from the viewing gallery. Her blonde hair was pulled back in a severe bun, and her blue eyes tracked every alien face in the chamber. She had warned Bassett that this tribunal was a farce, but he had insisted on diplomatic solutions. Always the optimist, always believing that reason could prevail. "Honored counselors," Bassett began, his voice carrying the calm authority that had made him Earth's youngest ambassador. "Humanity seeks only to coexist peacefully with our galactic neighbors. Our expansion has been measured, our colonization efforts focused on uninhabited systems." A chorus of clicking, chittering, and harmonic disagreement filled the chamber. The Vrex delegation's chitinous shells rattled with indignation, while the gaseous Etherians pulsed angry shades of crimson within their containment suits. Counselor Malaxi, the Council's ancient leader whose species had ruled the galaxy for millennia, raised one of her forearms for silence. Her voice resonated with the authority of eons. "Human Bassett, your species has existed in galactic society for merely 2 centuries. In that time, you have established 137 colonies, built 17 space stations, and your population has grown from 8 billion to over 50 billion across known space. We are a young species," Bassett acknowledged. "Perhaps your enthusiasm appears threatening," Malaxi interrupted. "No species in galactic history has expanded so rapidly. The Korthak hegemony, our previous concern, took 3,000 years to achieve what you have accomplished in 200. Elsa's fingers tightened on the gallery railing. She had run the simulations, analyzed the data. Humanity's expansion wasn't aggressive by human standards, it was desperate. Earth's resources were depleting and they needed room to grow. But explaining desperation to species that had never known scarcity was like describing color to the blind. "Therefore," Malaxi continued, "the Galaxy Council has reached a unanimous decision. Humanity will cease all expansion immediately. Your existing colonies will be reduced by 70%. Earth itself will be quarantined, with strict population controls imposed." The chamber fell silent except for the hum of life support systems. Bassett's composure cracked for just a moment, his jaw tightening before he regained control. "Honored counselors, such restrictions would mean the death of billions of humans. Surely we can negotiate." "The decision is final," Zeth Prime hissed with obvious satisfaction. "Comply within 1 galactic standard year or face enforcement." Elsa had heard enough. She rose from her seat and strode down to the chamber floor, ignoring protocol. Security drones hummed toward her, but Bassett gestured for them to halt. "You want to know about humans?" Elsa's voice cut through the chamber like a plasma blade. "You think we're a threat because we expand quickly, because we adapt, because we don't know when to quit?" "Commander Elsa," Bassett warned quietly, but she continued. "Let me tell you what happens when you corner a human. When you threaten our children, our future, our very existence." She looked around the chamber, meeting alien eyes with unflinching determination. "We don't surrender. We don't negotiate. We fight." Malaxi's expression showed mild amusement. "Commander, your species numbers 50 billion. The combined fleets of the Galaxy Council control 10,000 systems. Your posturing is our posturing?" Elsa laughed, the sound sharp and dangerous. "You've been watching us for 2 centuries, studying us, judging us, but you never bothered to understand us." She pulled out a data pad and activated a holographic display. Images filled the chamber, Earth's history in brutal, beautiful detail. Warriors charging across ancient battlefields, cities burning and being rebuilt, humans venturing into space on primitive rockets, driven by nothing but curiosity and courage. "You see expansion as aggression," Elsa continued. "We see it as survival. You see our wars as proof of our violence. We see them as proof of our determination. You conquered the galaxy through overwhelming force and ancient technology. We earned our place among the stars through blood, sweat, and an absolute refusal to give up." The chamber stirred uneasily. Even the confident clicking of the Vrex had quieted. Do you know what Earth was like when we first reached for the stars? Elsa's voice dropped to barely above a whisper, forcing the chamber to strain to hear her. Poisoned air, dying oceans, wars over resources that were running out. We could have stayed and fought over scraps until we destroyed ourselves. Instead, we looked up. She gestured to Basit. This man came here believing in diplomacy, in the possibility of coexistence. But you've just taught 50 billion humans a very important lesson about the galaxy's idea of justice. Malaxi's ancient eyes narrowed. Are you threatening the council? Elsa smiled. And for the first time since entering the chamber, she looked genuinely happy. No, counselor. I'm making you a promise. Humanity will remember this day. We'll remember that when we needed partners, you offered us chains. When we sought cooperation, you chose domination. She turned to leave, then paused. Oh, and counselor? You might want to check your intelligence reports. Those 137 colonies you mentioned, we're up to 412 as of yesterday. Turns out we're even better at this expansion thing than you thought. The chamber erupted in outraged alien voices as Elsa walked out, Basit following with a mixture of resignation and admiration on his face. 6 months later, the first Galaxy Council enforcement fleet arrived at Proxima Centauri to find empty space where a thriving human colony had been. No wreckage, no bodies, no trace, just gone, along with the entire orbital infrastructure. By the time they realized every human colony had vanished simultaneously, taking their technology, their knowledge, and their determination into the vast darkness between stars, it was already too late. The galaxy would learn in time what it meant to have made an enemy of humanity. But that lesson would come written in fire across 1,000 worlds, taught by a species that had never learned how to surrender. Earth's rage had indeed shaken the stars, and the echo would resonate for generations.